Anything else? I don't even. I don't know if it's accurate. I feel like it's pretty accurate.
Hello.
Hello. For sure. Hi. Hey, Noah.
Yep.
Yeah.
How y'all
Thank you so
doing?
much for coming. Yeah. We're doing well. So, yeah. I'm just kind of presenting the event, like hoping to like talk a little bit about the specifics of AI. We did plug you guys.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah.
Nice.
That's, yeah.
Yeah. I was supposed to do a workshop tonight, but I ended up getting way too busy, so I didn't have to plan it.
Oh, yeah. So.
General robotics workshop takes a little bit of planning, it turns out.
Yeah, I'm in computer organization right now.
Oh, man.
We have like a lab with, with the breadboards and everything.
That's awesome.
It is fun, yeah. You just take a while, like, we're learning what all the chips are, how to do like the high seat thing, and the wires. Yeah. First lab is basically just like a very thinly veiled disguise, figuring out like when did the chips and wires work. Oh yeah, oh wait, that chip doesn't work. Oh yeah, the pin stuff.
That's funny. Yep.
Just kind of the experience. But it's difficult to set up with software too, because you also have to like, download this and this program, copy paste this.
Wait, do you guys have like little microcontroller for that class now, or?
Microcontroller, they couldn't afford it for everyone, so we moved it to.
What up?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We didn't have, when I took that class, we didn't have anything like that. It was all like manual testing and stuff. That's cool.
It's really cool though. There's like a little like you can tap it. It says like whether it's negative or
In
positive.
the like checking stuff. No, I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, so we were able to like diagnose the specific problems where it's just by touching.
Oh, look into the channel.
So
Really? Couldn't find it. Check and help.
I think it was our third day, like, we had,
There's nothing new in check and help.
Once one were working, but pin 3 wasn't, so the output never traveled anywhere. So they were like, oh yeah, pin 3 is broken, use the 4, 5, 6 connection instead. So they were like, able to find.
Well, halfway done would be like.
I'm still really new to hardware.
No, yeah.
What?
I don't know any specifics.
Yeah. It's technically supposed to start at 2:45, and so we're going to be getting started as soon as people are done coming in. For the YouTube live streams, we've had more people. Usually it's been like 7 or 8. But for like anything that we've had to do over Discord, like maybe 2 or 3.
It doesn't have the charger or anything for that. It's just a tiny little battery. But I was like, oh, I touched this metal and I'm gonna die. So like.
Yeah, don't worry about that at all.
Yeah, 8 people watching from Galilee.
The worst you can do is make something a little hot. That's the worst option.
Do you think we should like wait for?
They said 2:50 is the new starting time, but you can wait a little bit. I guess it is 2:50 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like when I walked here, they just announced it. So.
Yeah, we have at least 9 people watching right now from broadcast. So.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, that's good. Hi everyone. Yeah. All right.
I'll see what else coming in, but.
All right. Let's see. So I guess we'll start off. So I guess welcome to OUI. This is a brand new organization. This is only our like second semester starting a full operation, but we're like very excited to attend our event. This is going to be more of an open house event, just to kind of get you familiar with what we do, get you your calendar down for different events, get you signed up for different things we're doing, and then kind of prepare for that. But yeah, so let's see, do that. That's about it. Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we'll go ahead and head on then. So So first and foremost, we really want to cater to every discipline and experience level with AI in the university. So we're very focused, not someone like a lot of AI classes and a lot of deep ML, neural network, human-computer interaction. You're going to have to wait until that 4,000, 5,000 level to really have any exposure. So, but the thing is that AI and ML are going to become so ingrained in our lives. It's prevalent in every major, every experience, and just like in our real life, you're definitely going to be exposed to and potentially working with AI. So our goal overall is just to kind of expose a new community to AI and ML. Oh. Yeah, but our goal is to like obviously expose people to AI and ML, have them do little projects, workshops, symposium, small groups, just anything we can to get you engaged with this field and not be so scared of it. So a lot of demystifying to do before you really become comfortable. Yeah, so, and yeah, I guess accentuating like open to all levels. So you don't need any like super background or anything. We're just very passionate.
All right, so who are we? Natalia, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. All right, my name is Natalia, obviously. I am a second year honors CS student, currently minoring in Psych and Math. So besides doing VP of this club, which I'm very passionate about, I'm the founding VP, I also do research with Dr. Chalon on RVFL networks, that's Random Vector Functional Link Network. So if you've ever heard about MLPs or multi-layer perceptrons, I believe, that's kind of a spin-off of that. It's been found to work 10 times faster, a lot of like neural network architecture and that sort of thing. So I'm working on how to optimize that, how to kind of, I guess, perfect like the hidden nodes formula, and that's kind of what I'm working on this semester. So I've done past research too. I have a preprint publication called The Mind Behind the Robot that kind of touches on the AI ethics sort of thing. So a lot more human psychology, how people interact with robots, and machines in general, how they feel about them, anthropomorphic factors. So, but yeah, that's a big reason for my psych minor. I really want to balance it out and make sure that the human experience is highly ingrained in the AI, like in the AI field, I guess. So it's really a short little intro about me. So, all right.
Hi everyone, my name is Lena Nguyen. I'm the marketing director for OU AI. I'm a third year transfer CS student from a 2-year community college, and this is my first year at OU. I'm really interested in UI, UX design, more of the front end stuff, but AI, ML has always been like really interesting to me, and that's the reason why I joined the club. Like, I just like want to branch out more and learn everything I can. I'm also in Hacklahoma, the Honors Diversity Council, SACE, and C3. So
Yeah. I realized I didn't really like touch on like any interest or like stuff outside of AI, but other things, I guess, I'm really interested in learning about international development and charities around the world. Especially like I also like doing guitar, collecting vinyls. I really like cozy Switch games and stuff, like art. So yeah, some other things about me, but yeah, we're pretty instrumental in that. So, any hobbies you were in?
Oh, I'm really passionate about art, graphic design. Sometimes I play piano, but I also really like traveling. So, yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Again, we want to emphasize that OU AI is open to everyone. Like in my case specifically, I don't know a ton about AI, but the interest is there. So we strongly encourage anyone with any kind of interest towards learning more, even if you don't know anything or don't have any like research or background, to come to our meetings and events, whether you're a beginner or an expert. All right.
And then just to touch on some upcoming events that we have going on. Our most recent one is, or sorry, most like upcoming one, I guess, which we probably sign up for, is we are working with Super Competitive Robotics. We have a representative right here, actually. Yeah, so, but we are kind of working with them in order to kind of, like I said, discover the crossroads between ML and robotics. There's a lot of crossover. We've personally been to their lab. I think we had convolutionary neural network, I believe it was. So, but that model was able to detect like a machine was able to kind of roll around in like white sand and like be able to navigate, or it was chalk, I forget what it was. But you could navigate obstacles pretty easily by just tracking the ground, and it worked so fast, it blew my mind. So a lot of neural networks you'll find take Theoretically, it could take years to run a couple of these really deep ones. So, but we're kind of focusing on the more quick ones that we can implement into hardware and actually have to help out with robotics projects. So, yeah, we have a lot of intersectionality with that. Reinforcement learning is obviously a big one. So, having that in order to kind of train a machine how to move and act, computer vision, all those kinds of things we'll touch on a lot more with that meeting. All right. Let's see. And then, let's see. Okay. The symposiums are a really big event. That's April the 22nd. It's basically, you're going to work with some small groups if you wanted to join us with that, work on a really big AI project and present that. Right now we're doing it in the Jim Thorpe Auditorium, but we're going to have recruiters from Boeing and different groups. We have the DISC Lab, it's more of a research one, grad students, recruiters, and all these kinds of people to share your work with and to share your passion with. All right, and then there's going to be like prizes for people to win, like merch and food and all that sort of thing. So, now do you want to do some officer series?
Yes, our final event is our officer series. So what we're going to do is have a tight-knit community of our officers and anyone who's interested in joining, as long as they're like interested in AI ML, and then we'll talk more about it and like learn about the different fields.
Yeah. So that would happen in terms of a small group project. We would be able to meet. We'd actually create a when to meet with you and decide kind of the best time that you're available to learn. It could be very flexible. So we could discuss more of the theory base, do workshops more consistently. But really, this is our way of reaching out and trying to develop a more interpersonal relationship with our members, because that's really the strength of our club. We really mentioned like the strength of AI is in the people that develop it. So we're very excited for that one.
Okay. All of our sign-up forms for our events, our Discord, GroupMe, and Engage are on this QR code. So if you'd like to scan it and join, we'll also put it in the Hacklahoma Discord, right? Yeah, check it out.
All right. Let's see. All right. So if you guys have questions or want to discuss with us, that's what this block of time is for. We really wanted to inspire you guys with your projects and also kind of answer questions about our organization and just kind of be able to kind of go from there. So, but yeah, if anyone has any questions for us, wants to discuss anything, we're totally open right now. But thank you so much for attending. It means the world to us. It's a new organization. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Anyone specifically like wanna? Yeah.
Okay. Question for both of you guys. What kind of personal projects or research things are you kind of like pursuing right now?
Yeah, I guess right now, I think I ran through it earlier. I'll probably go back to that statement with it.
In a research project with Dr. Lamb.
The Dr.
Natalie.
Cool.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay. Or, oh, forward.
There it is. Oh.
Oh, is that?
These slides are really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's Lana.
Yeah, Lana. Good.
Our amazing graphic design marketing director. Okay. So, okay. So I guess my projects were, so right now I'm researching RBFL networks through Dr. Chalman. So that's kind of a variation of NLP that kind of is been found to be 10 times faster from a 1995 study. So really touches into more like theoretical neural network architecture. But I'm very passionate about that and kind of like finding, I think that we're working specifically on refining a hidden node formula for that. So but that is kind of personal projects, doing that through the honors engineering research experience. So also I'm part of Dr. Haugen's lab, the robotics evolution application and learning. That's more of a discussion of biological deep learning, kind of inspired from that. So another area I'm very interested in scratching the surface of, but it may sound easier, but it's so much harder than RBFL. So much more high level, but it takes a lot in order to get a machine to act as if it has anthropomorphic qualities. So, but yeah, otherwise personally, I'm very interested in researching like AI ethics and legislature and a lot of implications of future kind of career I guess career implications and then also worldwide legislature on how it will handle AI in our real world. So those are, I'd say, are my projects at the very moment.
Oh, very cool. Thank you.
As for me, I don't have a lot of research projects going on right now, but I'm open to learning more about like the intersectionality between UI UX, graphic design, and AI. Because as she said earlier, like AI is used in every field, like every major, which is why it's important that we learn about it. And I just think that's really interesting. Like computer vision, deep learning, ethics, it's all like new to me, but open to learning more.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool as well. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, I was trying to kind of inform her a little bit before this. So like GAN networks, like creating art is definitely a really good area to kind of mix that art graphic design element with that. So that's like whenever you look up like this person does not exist, or like that like I forget exactly what website, but there's like a website where you can get AI to like create art for you. So that's all from GAN. It's a special kind of neural network, and I think that'd be a really good area for like Lena to educate on eventually in the future. So yeah, there's again intersectional and small majors. Lena's amazing. So yeah.
Super cool. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Any questions, guys?
All right.
No.
Anyone else? Anything?
AI in video games?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't call what we use in video games AI.
Anyone have a specific interest
more
in AI
artificial.
now, maybe? You don't have to like know anything. Maybe what are you excited about learning about, or what do you want to know? Yeah.
I mean, I'm interested in like a lot of the art aspect of AI too, and then also like aspects of human cognition with AI, understanding consciousness and modeling the brain with neural networks and things like that. I was, yeah, I guess wondering a little bit more about like the RVFL you were talking about, because you said you also part of your work was involving the like actually modifying the nodes as well for that network. So what, I guess, have you dug in yet? Like what sort of like approaches are you taking to modify like the approach of like essentially the neuron for a neural network?
Yeah, of course. I can kind of generalize it more. It gets into like this crazy long formula, but essentially it's only saying some pretty simple concepts. So, but there is a formula for how the RVFL model works. I believe there's an input, a modifier, and an output, are the three really big areas in that formula. So traditionally, it's the MLP is called the multi-layer perceptron. So that is able to, it's called, I think, universal approximator. So you put any information in, it can start kind of, it's very good at predicting what kind of like data you put in next, patterns and that sort of thing. So the RVFL is faster in that what they did is essentially they have to, throughout every iteration of a layer, you have to tune the input and output to whatever's happening. Like they have a specific function, they're taking much more data by changing that input every time. So, but RVFLs cut out that input and the modifier entirely. Those are randomized before the function even happens. So they're made completely random, and at the very end, they compare each other. So, but that option makes it so much faster to go through, and also kind of has the same accuracy. So I guess by modifying the exact way that the neural network works layer by layer, it's very important. At the moment, our project is image compression. So we're trying to keep it pretty simple. So it'll say, we'll put basically any image in there with a specific amount of pixels and then shrink it pixel by pixel each time, and then take the features that the machine guesses from the outside, store that into hidden nodes, and then push that image down to like 1 pixel, and then blow that back up using the same features. We'll see what makes the same image and just kind of see like what's the least amount of hidden nodes we would need in order to recreate a picture based on like different features like size, shape, color, and everything like that. So yeah, that's the modification I'd say we're doing right now. And I wanted to touch as well, using human cognition, that really touches on deep learning. So deep learning is a really big field right now. It's very difficult to do. There's a lot of theories on how to translate the brain into a machine. And originally, there was a doctor, I think, that tried to take like the electric activity from the inside of a machine, like a neuroscientist, and literally translate that over to code. But the problem with that is there's a lot of data just goes completely unused. There's a lot of dead areas in the brain that sometimes will be used, but then sometimes there's no activity there. So it's just like, it's very difficult to map out and to have it like conveniently and literally simulating a machine making literally any thought that way would take like a year. Like honestly, like a year in order to just like function the same way. So we can cut out a lot of that dead space and only really have neurons that really need to react. It takes a really long time to develop that, but that's basically what's in development right now. So I fully recommend deep learning if you want to look into that. Super great. So yeah, just want to touch on that. All right. Yeah. So I hope that answered your question. All right. Anyone else? Yeah.
Do you know if there are currently any projects at OU that use AI and like ML across like BME or AME?
Oh yeah, that's really huge actually. So that's like a field of ML in and of itself. Your BME is in biomedical. Yeah. Okay. That's huge. Oh my gosh, there's so many opportunities. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that really touches into biotechnology and biostatistics, which is different areas where essentially like if you kind of heard like the neuroscience part where I'm connecting the neurons and everything and kind of seeing how that all plays out, that's literally like instead you could be looking into like different kinds of cells or proteins or different areas that you want to focus on with BME. You can use bioinformatics in order to like translate over that ML and predict functions in the body. So there's a lot of that. So specifically in like developing prosthetics that can like effectively respond to the body, there's a lot of stuff in there. So yeah, I think you don't even have to do it specifically from the CS lens. If you even go into BME research here, they'll probably have some kind of AI ML already integrated. So, which year are you right now, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, I'm in aerospace third year. So.
Oh, awesome. If you wanted to go for the honors engineering research experience, what's that?
I'm in that. I'm working on the hydrogen fuels.
Oh,
right now,
awesome.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
I
just wondering if I could like build it into our engine systems somehow.
Oh,
to make
yeah.
research a lot easier.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. So networks, obviously, it can look a little daunting from the pictures and everything, but I'm sure it's really easy to implement. So if you wanted to pick up different aspects that are probably more optimized for bioinformatics, I think you'd be solid. So, but yeah, I think that's definitely possible. If you wanted to talk with me more after class, like not after class, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, it's like class. Oh, I'm not a lecturer. After this, like, oh my gosh, okay. After this, I would absolutely be interested in like kind of working with you. So yeah. So, all right. Are there any questions from the chat?
None currently.
All right. So let's see. I still see you guys. Hi. So if you wanted to ask us anything, we're totally open. All right. So also just about the club and things like that. They got bioinformatics. Good question. I haven't anyone ask about that before, so it's as an example. All right.
I think Dr. Pan in the CS department, he does stuff with bioinformatics and DNA genetic sequencing and stuff like that with AI and ML. Dr. Fag in our lab, we have some brain data and things like that from another ECE professor, Dr. Lading. So there are a few guys who do stuff with bioinformatics, kind of like things in that way. And if you're specifically looking for like AI with like, because you said you're an AME for like, you said to improve certain processes. Do you mean like system kind of level processes, or what kind of processes were you looking to improve?
So currently I'm trying to improve just our general like intake of information. Currently we're working on like clean energy systems. So just all of that emission information in the like engines that we're running for that and like how they affect people.
Yeah, you probably use a lot. You could probably start with like some, standard ML stuff. Like, have you used like scikit-learn with Python? Have you done any coding?
I typically use like ANSYS for most of my stuff right now. It's a lot of the stuff we do is like literally just like Excel like sheets of like a bunch of that. So I'm just trying to like streamline it.
Yeah, you can definitely easily take Excel sheets and export them into CSV files, and any programming language can parse CSV files. So Python, C++, Java, all that stuff. And all those languages have machine learning packages already pre-built and stuff like that. So you can use those to get started, like taking your own network of any kind. And yeah, just kind of throw it in there, start seeing what you can get and just play around and get used to like the ML like framework and like workflow. with your data, and then see what, and then start like thinking of hypotheses that you want to look for with that data, and then see how you can structure the neural network or whatever your machine learning model is based on that.
Thank you so much.
Scikit-learn, like you're saying, like I'm definitely using that for my research. I went into this like I haven't personally built like a neural network model. I understand it from a higher level, but I haven't built it with Python before. So Scikit's like a really, really good resource.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, you can use TensorFlow if you want to build one close-ish to the low level. But then there's like things like Keras and PyTorch that like sort of abstract out the neural network as well, kind of like scikit-learn, that make it easier to build up those deep networks.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah. So I think right now the RPML I'm doing is more like it's like simple numbers, so it's not so much visualization as I'd imagine you need in bioinformatics and understanding how things work, physics. And I mean, I'd imagine it's a really good aspect. So, but yeah, I think scikit-learn's a great opportunity. Yeah. Oh, this is completely unrelated, but I forgot to shout her out. Let me see. You guys saw this sticker with the little dog? Yeah, Lena drew that. That's yeah. Yeah, I wanted to shout her out. She deserves it.
Yeah, the stickers are awesome.
Yeah,
They're so wonderful this year.
they're so cute. Actually, I'm gonna apply mine right now. Yeah. That is so talented. She's my bestie.
Yeah, do you teach graphic design?
Design workshop. Design workshop. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Where'd you put the stickers?
I think we got 150 free stickers from Stickerville because like they sponsored us this year. So
Okay.
it turned out really good.
And have you heard of I think it's called like style transfer learning, where there are like neural networks that they're like trained to transfer between different art styles. Like if you have like a Monet painting, it's trained to like take that Monet painting and like convert it into like a Van Gogh painting kind of thing. And so yeah, and Google has like on a TensorFlow's like website, they have a bunch of tutorials, and like one of their examples, they have the style transfer learning neural network examples and stuff like that. So like that was one of the things I was thinking when you said you're interested in like art and AI, and then and there's also stuff with like, I mean, you probably heard of like deep fakes and stuff like that, where people can train models on videos or images and then like generate like actual people doing things that they never did, or like just create artistic scenes, or like just create new faces or people who don't exist and stuff like that. Those are all done with deep networks.
Yeah, that's all GAN. So like 100% of the saying that you should totally look at it up. It's really good for art. So yeah, they should do an officer series, like art workshop series.
Yes.
Yes, but
Hacklahoma 23.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Another person I have to shout out, Jacob over here, orange shirt, is our secretary.
Oh, hello.
Do you have any words to add about AOUI, anything?
It's a lot more beginner friendly than I think it initially sounds. Like a lot of people go into it thinking they need to understand something about artificial intelligence or machine learning, especially because the club is very oriented around machine learning. But I mean, it's very beginner friendly. Like the symposium we're having in April is just for you to just kind of try out a simple project that utilizes something with AI and ML. And there's literally no coding project in the world that doesn't use AI, because an if statement is AI. So it's like a Hacklahoma project that you can work on for like a couple months and then go in and present them and show off how talented you are to employees or to employers and to research groups and whatnot. So definitely recommend looking into it.
Yeah.
Super cool stuff.
We literally have so much crossover to Hacklahoma. Like I really feel like a lot of our concepts are going to be really interesting to people in Hacklahoma, and then also like Hacklahoma is really interesting to us because you guys are like developing new innovative ways in order to like make all these projects. Like that's amazing. So like we really wanted to like inspire creativity and stuff. But yeah, so much crossover with AI and Hacklahoma, I guess. So over here. So. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, if you guys haven't done the QR code yet, make sure you do that. We have, first and foremost, if you want to join our Engage, we can get you tagged and everything else. So like engagement is the most important thing. So, all right. Anything else? How's the event been going so far for you guys? Yeah, we were thinking, still no questions for the
No, not currently. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, yeah. I guess that just about wraps it up, but like, we're still open if you wanted to ask questions and everything, but we really just want to make this a very chill, like, open house. I'm sure you guys are already like overwhelmed with coding projects and everything, so we don't want to have more AI stuff.
Do you guys meet regularly?
Yeah, so we meet once a month, the first Wednesday of each month. So, so if you join our Engage, we'll send you out a reminder, especially Discord. We have a lot of announcements through Discord. So Discord's really big. For some people prefer grouping, but we're trying to move away from that. We're trying to prioritize Discord right now. Let's see what else. We have signups on that same like link tree for everything. So that includes like signing up for officer series and then also an interest form for the symposium if you want to join, just so we can like plan it out more and kind of do the whole event thing from there. So, but yeah, everything should be there. So bookmark that, mark your calendars for everything. So, yeah, thank you so much for hearing us out and listening to us. So most of our ups and downs, I think. Thanks. We'll leave that out.